Hello everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel. It's Rachel here with Makers Gonna Learn, your ultimate die cutting community. If you do not know who we are or what we do, we run an amazing die cutting community that works with any die cutting machine that works with SVG and PNG cut files. So if you guys have a Brother, a Silhouette, a Cricut, or any of those types of machines, you will love Makers Gonna Learn. We have over 1,700 cut files, over 250 fonts, free commercial licensing, printable guides, members only Facebook group, and so much more. If you guys are interested, click the very first link in the description below. But guys, in today's video, I'm going to be bringing you 10 things every Cricut owner needs to know. Whether you've had your machine for 6 months or 6 years, you need to know the things I'm about to tell you. You might know some, but leave me a comment in the description below if you have never heard of one or more of these amazing little Cricut hacks, tips, and tricks. I can't wait to get started, guys, so let's go ahead and jump into it. The first thing you guys need to know is you do not have to throw your mat away when it becomes unsticky. There is a lot of reasons why your mat becomes unsticky. There could be, depending on what material you use on it, could become unsticky, how much you use it, if you drop it on the floor, if you get it dirty. A ton of things can make your mat unsticky. And this one right here just will not hold HTV. So the biggest hack that we can give you guys is to clean your mats. So the way that we do that, we do have an awesome video that I will link down below on how to clean your Cricut mats with this amazing product from the dollar store. So you buy this one in a spray bottle for $1, and then it also comes with a 32-ounce refill for just $1 more. So these two together, you'll be able to clean your mats for probably a year or more. I mean, this is a lot of product. And we do love this brand. Again, it's from the Dollar Tree. All you have to do is spray it on, let it sit, scrape it off gently, rinse it, wipe it. There's a lot of different steps, but it's really simple to do, especially if you have more than one mat that needs a little bit more life in it. So definitely check out that video for the full tutorial on that. And the other hack that we have, maybe you don't have this product yet, or maybe your mat is just a little unsticky and you don't think it's ready for the LA is Totally Awesome, then you guys can just take some masking tape here. This is Dollar Tree brand masking tape. And just tape down the edges of your design. Just 2 is fine. You know, if the mat's got a little stick to it, but it's just rolling up on the sides there, then 2 little strips of tape should be fine just like that. And don't be worried too much about making sure the tape isn't in the way of your Cricut where it's cutting, because the Cricut will actually cut right through the tape and right through your material effortlessly. So do not even worry about that. The Cricut is definitely a powerful machine. You don't have to worry about where your tape is cutting your image. One of my favorite little tidbits to tell all Cricut owners is that your machine is only limited when you are. You guys have to go out, search tutorials, seek out some amazing projects to be able to learn and create and learn more about your machine, because your machine can only do what you want it to do. The possibilities are virtually endless when it comes to what you can cut, the material you can cut, how you cut it, but depending on how much knowledge you have, your machine is limited. So make sure that you do right by your machine, this big investment, and make sure that you are learning everything to the best of your ability to be able to craft with its full potential. Another thing I think every Cricut owner should know is that you do not have to change out your blade as often as you think. So Cricut, again, is such a smart machine. This maker is incredible, and it knows that you guys might want to keep your blades a little bit longer. So it has this little switch that you can switch in Design Space to change the pressure of your cut. So this is great for all different types of things. The most being when your blade is fresh. Okay, so let's say you do change that Cricut blade. Well, even if I wanted to cut, let's just say some black iron-on like this, I'll leave it on default pressure, which is what it's always set to, and it cuts right through the backing and everything. And that's because the blade is so fresh. So Cricut wants you to go in there and to give it less pressure. And what that does is it allows the Cricut to come up just a little bit with its pressure and not go down as deep while that blade is getting a little bit duller. So through that process, leave it on less pressure until you find that less pressure isn't cutting as well, then stick it to default. But my favorite tip is Whenever you think it's time to change your blade, I challenge you to give it more pressure and then see how it does. I'm going to switch over in Design Space and show you guys a little tutorial on where that switch is that you can toggle from less, more, and default pressure so that you guys can use this for your next projects. Okay guys, once you're in Design Space and you have your material that you want, you can go ahead through these little cues, click Make It, click Continue, and then you are going to be able to set your material here. And in this particular one, let's just say that we're using regular Cricut vinyl. So we're going to go up here and click Vinyl, and then right here guys, up here right under the number 1, it says default. If you click that, you can see more and less pressure right here. So right now it is set to default, like I said, and let's say our blade is very, very new, we're going to give it less pressure. And then if our blade is old and we want it to give a little more pressure to keep that blade's life for a little longer, we're going to click more pressure. So just depending on your blade and how long you've had it, this is a great little tool to extend the life of that. Another thing I want every Cricut owner to know, every Cricut owner to have in their Amazon cart by the end of this video, is this amazing masking paper transfer tape. We love this stuff. It works amazing, and we've only heard about it and started using it religiously for about 1.5 years. This is so much more economical than the Cricut brand transfer tape, which we have used for years and years. This comes in a 6-inch by 100-foot roll for only $14, guys. Not only can you feel the savings in your pocket, but you can feel the difference as you're using it. I really enjoy this brand of masking paper transfer tape. I will link it down below so you guys can grab your roll today and get to crafting. So any vinyl project you use, this stuff is amazing. All you have to do is peel it off and tear it just like a piece of tape, and then add it to your design and use it just like regular transfer tape. It is an amazing product that works so well with a ton of different types of vinyl, and let me tell you guys, this stuff is ideal for print and cut vinyl, okay? Whether you're using printable vinyl or you're trying to apply vinyl to cardstock, you really want a less tacky type of transfer tape. And you guys, I know that you see us getting Cricut brand transfer tape and sticking it to our clothes to make it a little unsticky. This stuff does not need that. It is great. It's basically just an extra long roll of masking paper, or excuse me, masking tape, but it's called masking paper transfer tape. And it is perfect for all different types of Cricut projects. You guys know we love Cricut because they brought us the amazing Cricut Maker, but I do want to let you guys know that you are very much allowed to go around and browse other brands to find cheaper alternatives to Cricut products. Some of our favorites are actually material. We absolutely love 651 vinyl. I will leave the link in the description below. I love how it weeds. I love using Caesar Easy Weed as our HTV. You can buy that from that company as well. And my least favorite thing that Cricut has is glitter vinyl, and let me tell you, 651's glitter vinyl is not only a more beautiful color in my opinion, and they have more selections, but it's so easy to work with. It doesn't feel rough and gritty like the Cricut brand glitter vinyl. It's smooth just like all their other vinyl and just as easy to work with. So now I'm not afraid of glitter vinyl because I can use it with Oracal 651. It's amazing. I love the brand. It's an amazing company, and they have a ton of awesome things like this pen tool. If you guys have watched a single live stream or video where we are using really basically any material, you will see us using this this pen tool. This is from 651 vinyl. Again, the link for this guy is in the description below as well. But this is an amazing pen tool, and it's PIN because the very tip is like, it's like a sewing needle, and then it looks like a ink pen, which is really cool. This comes in several different colors, and it even has a lifetime warranty. This is a lifesaver when it comes to weeding inside of little bitty projects. We do love our Cricut weeders, but we know that the tip gets bent, and it's just not it just doesn't do the best job in those little bitty areas like the pen tool does. So we definitely recommend getting you guys one of these. So if you break it, they'll send you another one and another one and another one until you're done crafting, because again, lifetime warranty. And then another thing that we recommend not getting that's Cricut brand is their markers and their pens and things like that. So those are very expensive. They're, I think, on the low end of $10, and if you want to get multi-packs, they're on the high end of $20. So we went to Walmart and got some Crayola markers, and they work amazing. So if you guys are on the fence about that, I do have a video comparing the two, which is a great video. I loved making it and seeing how it worked. And guys, I'm just going to let you in on the secret. I actually preferred these. One of my pet peeves about Cricut pens is that they write so thin, which I get that because it is a pen, but with these markers, these fine tip markers, they just draw a little bit heavier and mark a little heavier on the page than the Cricut pens do, and I like that better. And these guys are so cheap compared to the Cricut ones, and these are so easy to hack into your machine. So definitely think about shopping around. There are awesome tools at Harbor Freight that we have a video on that I can link down below that you guys can see that are good alternatives to Cricut tools like this one weeder tool that's $8.99. There's a lot of Harbor Freight tools you can get that are stainless steel, that won't bend, that won't break, for much, much less. So shop around, guys, especially if you're new to the Cricut game. It's always good to go in different brands and look at different products to see how you can level up and be a better crafter outside of Cricut, because as much as we love Cricut, sometimes their products are not affordable for us, or maybe they're just not the best. So that is another great tip that I wanted to share with every Cricut owner. Number 6, guys, is to measure everything. We have at least 3 of these floating around the craft studio at all times, and these are Cricut brand measuring tapes, but you guys can get them from Amazon, from Walmart, anywhere like that. I know they're at sew stores like Joann's and things like that too. Any kind of craft store you can find these guys, and they are great. We have these floating around because we need these for every project. We do not even try to make a project without measuring it at least twice. So the best little tip is to measure twice, cut once. There is nothing worse than wasting time, energy, and material on sizing something incorrectly. So make sure whatever it is that you size it properly for what you're making. Keep things in mind, like if it's a mug, you don't want it to wrap around the mug too much because it'll start to distort. And for a pillow, maybe you're ironing on a pillowcase. Well, keep in mind that once that pillow is fluffed up with stuffing, it might also distort much like the mug. So keep little things like that in mind when you do size your projects, and make sure you size it, measure twice, cut once is the rule of thumb. There is nothing worse than sizing an incorrect project. This is an important one, guys, and it might sound really, really weird, but it's such a great practice for all of you guys that own Cricuts. Make more projects that you're bad at. I know it might sound kind of crazy, but you guys will never get good at all-around crafting with your Cricut. You will never level up if you do not master the things that you think you are bad at, okay? So that doesn't necessarily mean, well, I hate making cards, so I'm never going to make cards. You know, if that's just not your style, that's different than saying, I don't like weeding vinyl, so I'm never gonna. So you guys, of course, find your crafting niche. We're all about everyone finding what they love in their Cricut, but never ever be afraid to level up in that way. You do not grow when you are comfortable. That is something that I need to practice more than I preach, and that's something that I'm sure a lot of you guys can resonate with as well. So let's just say, for example, you feel like you're terrible at weeding vinyl. Well, go on the internet, look up things to help you weed vinyl better. Practice, practice, practice. You can never level up. Just like if your child is playing a sport, you know, it's not like they're going to be like, okay, guys, we have a game at Thursday night. I guess I'll see you then, with no practice. You know, you always have to practice in order to get good at what you're doing. And that is a great lesson for all of us to learn, whether we're 2 or 30, you know. So just definitely keep that in mind. And we want you guys to feel comfortable crafting with anything, especially if you guys are yearly members of Makers Gonna Learn and you take that How to Build a Business course. If you guys are taking in custom orders for things and you get a client that asks for something that you don't feel comfortable doing, that's a problem. You might not make it to the best of your ability. You might have to let that client down, and that could be very bad for business. And we just want you guys all around, not even just for business, but to be comfortable making anything. That is our goal here. We don't want you guys to be afraid of your machine, the materials, the tools, or anything like that. So guys, simply just make more crafts that you think you're bad at. The next important thing is to keep all of your tools and blades organized. We did find this awesome organizer at our local craft store, Hobby Lobby, and I do have a video all about how to organize your Cricut tools. So go check out that video. I'll link it down below. It's a great one, and I do in that video have the link to this awesome storage caddy. So definitely go watch it and get that link. But this guy has little bitty sections that look like they were basically made for Cricut blades, which is awesome. So the most important reason why you need to keep these together is, number one, most importantly, because they are expensive. You do not want to keep your replacement blades that, by the way, guys, are this big. I bet you can barely see this on camera because it is so tiny. You do not want to keep these thrown around your craft room where you're never going to find them when you need them, because that is wasting crafty time, wasting your time, and we don't want to do that. Get yourself a craft caddy and organize it all together, because you do not want to lose your rotary blade. You don't want to lose any replacements for your knife blade. Keep them all nice and organized, and when you decide to make a felt project, you grab your entire caddy, open up the section that you need, use it, put it back. You know, just awesome general organizing-ness, I guess. But you guys have to be organized when you're crafting, especially when you're trying to build a business through die cutting, because it's important to have things organized and to be able to be efficient at your crafting. So that is definitely a great way to do that. So just be sure, guys, you don't have to get this exact caddy, of course. Just make sure that somewhere in your craft room you are keeping all of these things organized. One important thing to note, especially when you're first starting out in the crafting world, in the Cricut world, is to not drop a lot of money on expensive blanks when you are beginning, when you are just starting out in the testing phase, because you guys not only will have some craft fails, it is inevitable, but then you will feel super extra bad about that because you will know that you wasted money. So don't go out and get Comfort Color t-shirts and Pottery Barn mugs and start weeding on, or start adding vinyl to them and start adhering to them or anything like that. Go to Walmart, go to Dollar Tree, get some cheap shirts and cheap mugs and things like that to use when you're practicing, when you are testing out. And guys, even we have cheap things here in the studio for when we try something new. When we tried infusible ink for the first time, we were terrified because infusible ink is very expensive, and we wanted to make sure that we had the blanks necessary to do it well, but they were all kind of expensive and we were stressed. So we found some really cool alternatives, like 100% polyester t-shirts from Amazon, that made us feel a little bit better about testing out the infusible ink. So just keep that in mind when you are new, depending on if you want to make HTV projects, vinyl projects, print and cut projects, anything like that. Just don't invest a ton of money into materials when you're just starting out. The last thing I want you guys to know, I want every Cricut owner to know, is that there is something that I feel can step up your crafting game unlike anything else. I know a lot of our awesome Crickuters maybe have Cricut Access, or maybe you guys are members to Makers Gonna Learn and you enjoy all of our cut files. Well, I have a way to level you guys up without even really knowing it, and that is by using fonts. I absolutely adore fonts, guys. I'm very biased over it because they are my favorite. I would use them every single day if I could. I love that the possibilities are endless, and you guys have all the freedom with the alphabet to create whatever you want, however you want. You really have that creative freedom that every crafter craves when using fonts. Now, of course, Makers Gonna Learn does have over 150 fonts with new ones added every single month, and those are only available to our yearly members. But yearly members do pay the least amount of money for the most amount of our resources, so definitely, again, check that link out in the description below if you are interested. But there's just nothing like fonts. You guys have to download them, upload them, which does take some time, and you guys need to learn how to do. And then once you get them in Design Space, you have to work with them, size them, kern them, adjust them, ungroup them, group them back, weld them. There is so much intertwined with working with fonts. It is an amazing way. It's kind of like little kids using an online program for school that they think is fun, but in reality they're learning. It's the same thing but for adults. So you guys are in Design Space making something you really love, and in return you are learning so much about Design Space, how it works, the align features, how to attach, how to, you guys are just learning so much just by browsing around Design Space and seeing how to work with these fonts, and I absolutely love that about them. So that is a great way to level up your crafting. If you've never used a font, you guys are missing out. They are amazing to use. All right, guys, that does it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. As always, guys, give us a thumbs up and leave us a comment in the description below. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, I love reading them. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to see more amazing crafty videos like this. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.